Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Whitacre, and I'm here to record the third installment on a little series of videos I'm doing on the attachment system and different attachment styles. If you happen to miss the first two videos, please look below to the comments where you'll find links where you can circle back and watch those. And if you want the bigger picture, I highly recommend that you watch all of the videos in this series. Today, I'm going to talk about avoidant attachment styles. And just like before, I'm going to start off by reading just a little paragraph on the overview of attachment dynamics for the avoidant attachment style. So with avoidant attachment, unavailability, hostility, and lack of fulfillment from caregivers in the avoidant attachment model can result in a feeling that relationship and intimacy are so difficult that we tend to stay on the sidelines and not participate. A major disconnection from relationships often becomes a source of comfort in life for avoidance. We have learned that we meet our needs better ourselves, and we have learned to dismiss others and live in an isolated bubble of self. So how does this happen? How does this start? It starts in childhood, and it begins, again, with that relationship to our caregivers, our guardians. And for most people, that's our parents. For some people, it could be somebody other than our parents, like grandparents, foster parents, adopted parents, or whatever family dynamic. So oftentimes in childhood, our caregivers were tuned out, they were absent, they were neglectful, or sometimes outright rejecting. And this could have been due to so many different factors. It may have been their own unresolved attachment injuries that got passed on to us. It could have been work commitments because our parents or guardians have to provide for the family. There could have been a physical illness or a chronic illness in the family that pulled their attention away from us. Maybe it was mental illness or cultural or family challenges or a natural disaster or some sort of tragedy that pulled their attention away. Whatever the reason, the child was left to their own devices too much of the time. And the child's cues and cries for connection went ignored and unmet. And the child learned to meet their needs and to self-regulate on their own without the help of an adult. But the caveat here is that when left to their own devices, children don't naturally find healthy ways to self-regulate. They'll turn to coping mechanisms, self-soothing mechanisms, self-protective or defensive mechanisms as a way to self-regulate, not healthy coping mechanisms. And so what happens whenever these attachment wounds follow us into adulthood? Well, in adults, avoidant attachment is often called dismissive. So adults with this attachment adaptation are often overly independent, and they might find it really difficult to ask for help or ask for support. And furthermore, admitting that they have needs or admitting that they need help can feel incredibly risky, since long ago they learned that their needs are probably going to go unmet. So avoidance, or those with an avoidant attachment style, tend to isolate and feel more relaxed and more comfortable alone. It can be stressful to move toward connection, and the avoidant attachment style will need a little time to transition into that connection. They can seem to shut down, and they might find it incredibly difficult to talk about or even feel their emotions. They might instead, because they can't feel their emotions, look to something that they can feel as a way to create connection. And for many people with the avoidant attachment style, sex becomes that false connection that because they have trouble accessing that felt sense or that deeper emotional state in their body. And relationships and co-regulation in a relationship is really difficult and risky. Now, having said all of this, that doesn't mean that a person with an avoidant attachment style doesn't want to connect or doesn't love their friends, family, partners, or neighbors. They just adapted in such a way that lack of another person, shutting down their attachment responses or lowering or minimizing their attachment responses in relationship was a way to remain safe. So those with an avoidant attachment style will need to reestablish a sense of safety, and a sense of safety in relationship and a sense of safety in intimacy, which is something that a therapist can help facilitate. And like I said in the last video, attachment ruptures happen in relationship, and what heals attachment ruptures is relationship. This is not something that we can heal on our own because of the type of injury that it is. So I hope this helps give you a little bit of information on what avoidant attachment styles are. Those who have avoidant attachment tend to their go-to nervous system states tend to be flight and freeze more so than any of the others. So if you notice in yourself that you tend to be a runner or you tend to walk away, go into the silent treatment, leave, go spend the night at a hotel when you and your partner have had an argument because you just need to get away, those could all be signs that you have avoidant attachment. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me at info@jenniferwhitacre.com. And I hope you find these videos helpful. Please share, please subscribe, and look for the next video in this series in which I will talk about anxious ambivalent attachment style. Have a great day, folks, and I will see you next time.